So in my last post, I showed you my wood piece with these little shapes taped to it. I used these to try to figure out the size and the placement of these three elements. So I thought I would talk you through the next step, which is turning these into the decals that I will use to apply to the wood. If you've been following me for a while, you've seen me do this with drawings that I've done on my computer that I print out and cut out and apply to a piece as a decal. But since I'm doing the pencil and paper thing now, I thought I would try doing some drawn decals. So I've turned this into this little drawing, which I really like. And this paper is pretty thin, so when I spray it with my sealer, it's going to want to curl a little bit. So I'm going to let it dry just for a second, and then I'm going to lay some wax paper on it and stick a book on top and set it aside to dry, and that way it will be flat. So this is one that I did yesterday. I did this one too. And this is what it looks like after it's been drying. So it's got a little ripple to it, but not too bad. And now I can cut this out and I'll end up with something that looks like this. And this is what I'm going to apply to the wood with matte medium. Now I'm doing a little test fit of the pieces that I cut out. I sort of freehanded these rays. And the reason that I'm doing it this way is to save myself a little work. I'm going to paint the background in blues and then layer these decals over the top so that I can have a yellow sun on top. So the plan is a blue gradient starting with dark blue, going up to light blue, and then going to green as I head into where the figure is going to be, and then dark blue down from the top where the moon is going to be. And I can do all of that on the blank wood and then apply these decals and gesso over the top of them and paint in the sun. And that will save me some time paint-wise because I won't have to try to paint in a gradient behind all of these rays. Painting in between like this is really tedious, and I would much rather just paint this and then lay this down on top of it and paint this. So this is what my piece looks like now with the actual decals taped in place. So now I can start making guidelines for my paint job so that I can do a background that sort of gradiates from dark blue down here, light blue, green, light blue, dark blue. And I also think I'm going to do some star and flower decals to add in much later in the process.